The BBC is hunting down people who escaped it. So these are people who took one look at the BBC's polished presenters, handpicked guests, and carefully controlled opinions, and then looked at YouTube. And they saw ordinary people saying what they actually thought. And those people chose YouTube. And now the BBC wants those people's money anyway. Because at the moment, if you watch a normal YouTube video like this one, for example, no TV license is required. You watch a normal creator live stream, no license is required. But watch Sky News live through YouTube? That's a license. Use BBC iPlayer at all? License. Same screen, same app. One video is none of their business, the next suddenly triggers a license fee. And even now, that tiny gap of freedom is clearly too much for them. Fewer people are paying for the TV license. TV license itself is losing its grip, and the money is basically bleeding out. So the BBC looks to the one place people escape to and sees a fresh audience ready to charge. The BBC did not win these people. The BBC did not serve these people. They saw people that basically wanted nothing to do with them and then decided those people should pay anyway. And this is where it becomes sinister. Britain already sends people to your home over a TV license issue, not because they caught you watching TV, because their actual database says your address currently hasn't paid for it. You can legally own a TV, you can actually watch a normal YouTube video on it every single night, and you still do not actually need a license. But the red and white letters still arrive anyway, and then someone may appear at your door looking incredibly official, asking what screens do you own and what you watch on them. The system basically starts with one singular assumption that comes in. You have not paid. Now explain yourself. Now think about it a second. A confident person might shut the door. But what about, for example, someone who's elderly or nervous or, life is busy, they're unsure about the rules. Someone maybe who's basically frightened by their tone or threats of investigation and prosecution. And there's talks of a fine of up to £1,000. Even the actual government themselves admits that the actual doorstep system of sending people there is actually quite expensive and actually does hit vulnerable people the hardest, as you can imagine. And the TV licensing admits it may still knock even after you have already told them you owe them nothing. So you basically tell them you owe nothing and they turn up anyway to knock. Now imagine, for example, that system on YouTube. So they're going to get questions like, do you have broadband? Do you have a phone? Do you have a smart television? I mean, can you actually find someone who doesn't these days? And do any of them have the BBC iPlayer sitting on it? Did you install it? Oh, it came preloaded. But you're sure you've never opened it, right? Fine. Prove it. And now you have to also prove what you actually watched. And the question then becomes, why should you have to? Why are there more letters arriving? Are we going to have internet records involved in this? Are there going to be licensing checks built into the YouTube accounts? Are videos going to be blocked now, for example, until you've actually paid? Are you going to have websites blocked until you've actually paid? How far is this going to go? So today, an unlicensed home is basically treated with suspicion. Tomorrow, simply going online could actually be enough. So what are they actually doing? They're actually already discussing this in the UK Parliament, and the BBC's chair has actually told the British MPs, and for those outside the UK, British MPs are basically members of Congress, that basically changing viewing habits, especially among younger people moving on to other platforms, must be captured by a modernised license fee. Doesn't that sound great? And the word they use, yes, is captured. That is their word. You leave television, you stop watching the BBC, you move on to another platform that they did not build, and they want the license fee to basically follow you there. Now, modernized sounds harmless, but that word has been used to smuggle in some truly awful ideas lately. Translated into normal English, it does not matter where you go, it does not matter what you watch, it does not matter whether the BBC made any of it. This is basically Tesco's demanding money because you chose to shop at Sainsbury's, except Tesco's cannot send threatening letters to your house. You must always be basically paying the BBC. YouTube was basically built by creators. It was filled by viewers, then the viewers often became creators. Creators listened to their audience, the audience pushed them to get better, and the cycle kept going until ordinary people had built something absolutely incredible and enormous. They basically built a new form of electronic Rome. They laid the bricks, they filled the streets, they made the videos, they created the audience, and now millions of people would rather be here than watching them at the BBC. And the BBC has actually itself finally arrived at the gates, takes one look around at this new Rome, sees what everyone else is watching, sees how they're speaking, sees what they're joking about, who they trust, and you can almost hear the judgment. Wrong people, wrong language, wrong opinions. You probably should not be enjoying this. But they are not too disgusted to demand tribute. They did not build a single brick, they did not fund a single creator, and they did not earn a single audience member. They arrived after everyone else had already done the work, and then they put their hand out. Because if the BBC actually wanted you back, it would change, it would listen, it would improve. It might even start reporting on stories people genuinely cared about. Make it optional, name the price, let people choose, and see how many would be willing to stay. But they do not want that test because it would force them to answer the one question they desperately want to avoid. What did the BBC actually provide to the people it now wants to charge? But it does not want you back. It wants you leaving to make no difference at all. Watch the BBC, you pay the BBC. Reject the BBC, you pay the BBC. Watch the BBC's competition? Apparently, you should still pay the BBC. This is not a television license fee or license. This is an institution claiming a permanent cut of your attention. And do you still watch the BBC? And should anyone have to pay for it simply because they chose YouTube instead? Let me know your opinion below.